Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be sharing all of my techniques that I use for kind of doing a smoky eye, but at the same time achieving that sort of wide-eyed, kind of more bright-eyed look. And it can be done. You can get away with a smoky eye and making your eyes appear larger and brighter at the same time. So I'm going to be sharing all of my personal techniques with you for achieving that kind of look. And I hope that you find this helpful. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. I'm in number 35. I'm going to apply this really quickly because I just recently did my updated foundation routine where I do contouring and everything, the whole works, brows and everything. So if you want to see that, I will go ahead and post that video below. Too Faced Shadow Insurance in Lemon Drop. So first off, I'm going to take this MAC eyeshadow in Brule, and it doesn't have to be MAC, anything similar is fine, it just needs to be a pale flesh tone type of color. Just get a little on, tap it off, and just going to do a light dusting because the color that we're going to be using is matte, and I just want to make sure that there's no, no patchiness. Now for the main color we're going to be using, I'm going to use Bobbi Brown Taupe. This is one of my all-time favorite eyeshadows ever made. I'm going to use my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and just get some of that on there. What is that? Is that some a glob of shadow insurance? No, we don't want that. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to pat that Bobbi Brown Taupe all over my lid, towards the inner corner. And I'm going to get that outer corner really good. Since I'm not using anything in my outer V, I just want to make sure that it's, there's no patchiness, make sure it's nice and as deep as possible in the outer corner there. I'm going to bring it up onto my brow bone slightly. And we're not going to be using a blending color because this color tends to blend into your skin tone really well all by itself. Next I'm going to blend out, I'm going to take my Sonia Kajal crease brush and just do a little light blending right on the edge there. And you don't want to overblend this because this eyeshadow blends out super easy, it's super fast and easy. So you don't take too much color away. Next I'm going to do my inner corner and I'm going to grab my little tiny crease brush from Essence of Beauty and my Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in Bone. Just want to give a nice subtle brightening effect. Next, I'm going to line my upper lash line, so I'm taking my little tiny stub of a Stila eye Kajal in Onyx, and I'm still working on this thing, it's still hanging in there. So I'm just going to dot and feather right at my lash line. And this is really where you can extend the eye and enlarge the eye. Even though it's a black eyeliner, it's gonna work really well to kind of open up our eyes and shape them. Now I'm going to smudge that out, and this is another Essence of Beauty small crease brush. I use this all the time for smudging out this eyeliner, it just works perfectly. So again, I'm not taking it in too far there. Like my lashes go in further than my actual eyeliner. So since my eyes are more close set and kind of more narrow and small in general, I like to take it out further this way. Basically, I have one rule when it comes to me doing my eye makeup, and that is make eye where you want it. If you want more eye out this way, then just, bring your makeup more out that way. And if you want less eye coming towards, your nose, then, start your eye further out that way. I know it sounds funny, but that's my general rule for me. Make eye where you want it. And once you get your eyeliner shaped how you want it, if you need to go back in and clean up a little, you can just take a Q-tip and just sort of, clean up, or if you want to sharpen that edge of the eyeliner, the bottom edge, then you can do that. And now some people might look at this eyeliner and be like, oh wow, that's too much for my eye. Well, that's okay. Just work with your eye, and your eye shape, and if they're deep set or if you don't need to wing it out that much. This is just how I do my eyes for my particular eye shape and how they're set. Alright, the next step is to set that eyeliner. Because it is that smudgy, soft eyeliner, we want to set it with a black eyeshadow. So I'm going to take MAC Carbon or any black eyeshadow will do. I'm taking that same brush that we just used to smudge out the eyeliner, and I'm just going to tap into that carbon a tiny bit. Now I'm going to take that eyeshadow that we just used, the black, and I'm just going to tap right at my lash roots, but I'm not going to do it right at the roots. I'm going to take it like just like a millimeter under my natural lash roots. We're just going to kind of do some little, we're basically making like new lash roots. So we're kind of like dropping the eye down a touch, because my eyes are, they're very small all the way around, but I want to bring them down a little bit more and make the eyes look a little bit larger. And since I can't really go up anymore, we're going to take it down. And then I take a little brush like this. This is actually the larger Essence of Beauty crease brush. I'm going to get back into that Bobbi Brown taupe, and I just want to touch the tip there. And we're going to go over that black, and we just want to kind of smudge that slightly. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my flesh tone pencil, which is MAC Chromagraphic Pencil, and we're going to go ahead and line our lower waterline. I'm actually going to press that into my natural lash roots a little. And remember, since we dotted down below those roots with our eyeshadow, we're actually able to do that more easily without ending up with a big smeared up mess, because this is just going on the skin. It's not like overlapping onto those, that black eyeshadow that we already did down there. And I'm going to take this all the way in to my inner corner, right into the tear duct area. I'm also going to kind of open up my eye even more by getting into those little like baby lashes. I'm just going to wipe that off in case you got any of that black eyeshadow on there. And I'm going to also line, I'm going to tight line, but only at the outer corner here. So see, there's just a little bit of skin showing there, and we're just going to brighten that up a little. I'm not going to take it all the way in, just at this outer portion. And see, right where your lower waterline and top waterline meet, right at that little outer corner there, just kind of flick your pencil outwards, and that's going to elongate your eye even more. Another tip for kind of opening up your eyes, making them seem larger and brighter, more wide-eyed, more awake, you want to curl your lashes. So we're going to get right in there at the roots and give them a good curl. For mascara, I'm going to use L'Oreal, this is the Power Volume Collagen. Another tip of mine for making your eyes appear larger are lashes. False lashes can do amazing things, and they're really fun because there's all different styles you can choose from, so there's something out there for everyone. Whether you like a more natural look or you want like va-va-voom, like big major lashes going on. So I'm going to use my Duo Lash Adhesive. And I like to apply them with tweezers. And once the glue has had a chance to set and kind of just dry a little bit, going to apply them, because you want it to be a little bit tacky, otherwise it's just going to be too wet and it's just going to not hold. So just hold it in place there for a couple seconds and then pin the ends down. Alright, lashes are on, and so while I would love to say that I naturally have, big, wide awake, wide open eyes, I really don't. I have little tiny clam eyes, as I call them, and they're very squinty naturally, very narrow, deep set. They're really quite hidden away, which is one reason why I have this particular set of techniques that I use to make my eyes appear larger than they really are. And so that's why I wanted to share that with you, also because I love doing smoky eyes, and I was once told told that by a makeup artist, a Dior makeup artist, that I should not do smoky eyes because I have very small deep set eyes already. Which I promptly disobeyed that order, and I do smoky eyes all the time. That's my favorite type of look to do. So I just adopted this sort of technique, you know, or set of techniques to make it work for me. So that's what you can always do. You can always wear, anyone can get away with any sort of makeup look. It's just a matter of adopting the right set of techniques to make them work on your set of eyes. Make sure you do your brows. My favorite pencil is the MAC Brow Definer in Fling, and I'm just going to give those a little bit of depth and shape there. Oh, another tip I should mention about brows is, you know, if you make sure that you keep plucked under this area, you know, on your brow bone, it really kind of cleans up and sort of lifts the eye. So I naturally have, you know, a little bit more hair down here, and it kind of like makes your eyes almost like heavier, you know, your brows. And so if you just kind of, you know, trim those back and shape them where it kind of gives more lift and more arch to your eye, then it really helps a lot with opening or giving the appearance of more open eyes. So I'm just going to apply my contour really quickly, and again, I have this already in my foundation routine, which I have that video posted below if you want to check that out. For blush, I'm going to use Tarte Dollface on my 376 Sedona Lace brush. For lips, I'm going to use my Urban Decay lip liner in Wicked and my Victoria's Secret lipstick in Restraint. So those were all of my personal tips for how I get away with doing a smoky eye and at the same time kind of make my eyes appear larger than they really are. And we can go over really quickly, you know, what we did, the steps that we took, and what it did for our eyes. So basically, extending your eyeliner out beyond your eye is going to make it appear more elongated, and instead of going at, you know, a more of a upward degree angle, you know, that's going to give your eye lift, but if you want it to be more elongated, you want to go out more. So that's what I like to do. And then the lashes, of course, open up your eyes more. Curling your lashes is going to kind of get the lashes, your natural lashes, out of the way of your eye, you know, along the top lash line. So that's going to open it up that way, giving a little bit of, you know, kind of brightening your tight line area at that outer portion. If your eyes curve downward, that's going to open them up at that outer corner. And of course, adding that kind of flesh tone, kind of eye brightening sort of pencil on your waterline, of course, is going to brighten your eyes all the way around. And also, if you get it into the lashes a little like we did, just the lash roots, it's going to drop your eye downward a little more. So it's going to make it appear a little bit bigger, a little bit more rounded than it really is if you have squinty eyes. And also, since we did that little flick with our pencil going outward, you can see it there. It kind of just brightened up and kind of helped elongate the eye, which goes in the same sort of positioning as the eyeliner itself. So overall, it kind of brings your eyes outward more. So that's really good if you have, you know, close set eyes. And also, if you have close set eyes, of course, brightening your eye in the inner corner is going to make them appear not quite so close. So you don't want to bring, that's why we didn't bring our eyeliner in quite so far. Alright, so that is my complete look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found this helpful for anyone out there who also has small, squinty eyes, whether they're narrow, deep set, whatever it is. These tips I have personally found work really well for me and making my eyes appear larger than they really are. Thank you guys so much for watching, and oh, I forgot to mention, yes, my background is looking a little bit different right now. I'm not sure how I'm gonna have my background exactly, but since I kind of changed positions, I used to film over that way close to my tub before. Now I'm filming with this kind of background. I had my beach towels, my bath towels back here, and I had a basket of washcloths, and I changed that because the camera kept blurring me out and it kept focusing on my little woven basket back there, so I had to change things up. So anyways, we'll get that kind of camera blur worked out hopefully soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!